Good evening or afternoon or evening, and how are we all doing? Anyway, so here we have Hobby Boss's MV-22 Osprey, 48 scale. So I got this from Telford last year. I didn't pay a lot for it because the bloke just wanted rid of it. So it was a case I put my hand in pocket, gave him some cash, and here it is. But I didn't want to do a marine version, I wanted to do an Air Force version. So when I looked in the box, there is pretty much most of the basic stuff that you need for an Air Force version in it, like the refueling boom, the laser bit on the front, and there was a couple of other bits and bobs. But all the bodywork stuff that needs, and the sensors on the tail and on the rear of the hub, you don't get all of that, and you don't get the two chin pods either. So I thought, right, let's have a look at it. So I'll show you what I've done. So basically, I've gone about my way. I've got this book, this AMR book, and as you can see, here's the Air Force one on the front. So you don't get these bits in it, you get that in it, you don't get them bits, you don't get that bit, and you don't get these under here, and there's a lot of other stuff that you don't get when you want to do this version. So you don't get that. You don't get the big lump on the new ones now. You don't get any of the tail sensors. You don't get any of these sensors on the rear here. None of these aerials. So in the kit, it's just a basic kit, but you do get the fielding probe and that radar sensor on the front there. So I had a look. I've stuck it together. I've painted the inside. The back door does open. And I masked up all the windows. And I started putting bits and bobs on. And I made these plaques here that go on the side, and I did a couple there, but this is where I had to stop because I thought, right, do you know what, I got no idea what goes on underneath here because I've not got photos of them. Tried looking on several of the more better ones for reference, like airliners.net or wherever it is, and so, but anyway, that was it. So I put it back, started looking for conversion sets. Found a black dog one. It wasn't really all that because I remember I bought one a while ago for the Italieri kit, and it's got like a rear tail gunner's gun in it, and a few other bits. But it was more of just a very basic thing again, because again these things have only came into light, and the conversion set wasn't that brilliant, but I went a digging, and so I trawled around the internet, looked high and low, and found this. So this is the metallic details, not heard of them before. MV Osprey exterior detailing set for the Hobby Boss kit. So when you open it up, let's just zoom out a bit so you get some nice paper. It reminds me of 70s wallpaper. And you get a strip of vinyl. So with this, basically what is on here is there's some strips that look like strengthening plates that go down the back of the fuses on the underside, and then there's another strip here, a bit of a fatter one, which goes over the rib in front of the windscreen. So that's what you get on there. They're not very visible, even with the naked eye and me looking at them here. Then you get a packet of 3D printed bits. You get a sheet of metal etch, and then I'm going to have to get the tweezers to get this thing out. So this is the sheet of paper that basically shows you all the bits you get. It gives you a template for the underside of where to place some of these metal etch aerials and stuff, and then you get all this here where it shows you where to stick them on the fuselage, turn it over, and then it carries on down right up to stage 15, which is the APUs and stuff like that. And then on the underside it shows you a final picture of those strips, the vinyl strips. There's 4 of them there. There's the other one there, and that's what they come on that bit of film, self-adhesive film. So this looks a pretty good set, and And I thought, right, okay, so I've got it. It only came today. And from what I've seen of it so far, it looks pretty good. So you got your sat-nav aerials there and that big, and then you got this big lump in the middle with the APU and the radar parts, or the FLIR pods there. And then you got these, I think these are for the tailplane. I think they might be the same. Then there's fuselage stuff. That's the 2 chin pods on the nose. And then this is all the aerials and Lord knows what that goes on the bodywork around the cockpit area and down the back and all the rest of it. So it's a bit of a full-on set. So let's have a look at the 3D printed stuff first. And as you can see, it's actually quite something. It's actually quite something. It's all literally close knit, but it's all there. There's a teardrop in the sat nav. There's another big dome that goes on the rear. Some blade aerials, the APU, another exhaust, I don't know what that is, tail sensors, body sensing stuff, chin pod sensors there. Those 2 are behind the cockpit window. Another sensor there that goes on top of the rear end. So I mean, yeah, it's quite something else. There's that thing there. Oh, that's the back of it, looking at all the stairs. There's the other side of it. So yeah, yes, yeah, very nice. Yeah, quite nice that. And then the other thing you get with it as well is your photo etch. And again, there's some bits and bobs. Don't quite know what all these are, but it will say on the plans. They all seem to be fairly nicely done. I don't know what these things are. They look like vents, but it's a bit closer. But yeah. So yeah, there we are. So it's it was a nice little set. I can't remember how much it cost because it was all in Polish money, which I can't. But it wasn't $1 million. Let's put it that way. It was for what I think it was just under 40 quid, including the postage. And I mean, what you get in there compared to what you get in the Black Dog set, well, okay, you don't get any weapons, but you know what? I'm pretty sure I can source a 50 caliber gun to go on the back gate if I really wanted one to go on there. And yeah, so they're not hard. Plenty of helicopters have got them. So yeah, got me 70s wallpaper in there. And so that was that. So there we are. So that's what it was. That's it there. There's not a lot around the box. But that's it. That's your detail set from Metallic Details. And that's for the 22 Osprey. So it's just another little project that I was doing on the side just to please myself. Yeah, quite something really. But there we go. Anyway, if you're interested in all things like this, then yeah, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us even subscribe. Everything's free. Don't cost you anything. I don't even ask for any money for any cups of tea or whatever. Not that I need them. I'll make my own in the kitchen out there. So, but I know what a lot of modelers do now. So yeah, but I don't even do that. So yeah, a bit like I think even Jamie Ago charges now. He didn't used to, but I don't know. He might do. I think still does something for free. I'm not too sure, but anyway, right. That's me done with this one. Another short little video showing what I got for the V-22 Osprey. So we'll see you in the next one.